This is Mark Evan Jackson from Everything. You're listening to NetHeads.
Hit me!
NetHeads 299.1?
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
You know, nerd culture is mainstream now, so when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
Okay, not really Trent. Just Will. I should have played this one instead, but I just did it out of habit, because this one's shorter. See, watch.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will.
See, that would have been more appropriate. Because it really is just me. Nobody else. Welcome, another edition of NetHeads. My name is Will. No Trent. Just coming at you because... Coming at ya! Sorry. Just coming to you because today is Spider-Man Far From Home Day. Also, it's been almost a month since anyone NetHeads related did anything NetHeads related. So, wanted to come at you guys right now. If you want to take part in the program, you can one of many ways. One of them is via our good friends on the Twitters. Also, if I can get my act together here, you can also reach out to us via Skype. That's NetHeads on air via Skype. And if people were actually to chat with us, then you would be able to see there chat messages popping up as well. So we can see everybody ready to interact. So welcome, everyone. Thank you. Let me... Oh, don't do that. Don't do that, Will. That is a horrible thing. Go to applications and let me launch our good friend Skype. That'll help. Anyway, welcome. So I hope everybody is doing well. Obviously, it's been a while. A lot of stuff's gone on over here. And apologies, we just... Life has kind of been getting in the way of doing things. So that's why Trent and I really haven't gotten together to talk to one another via the interwebs and coming live into your room. Hello, Sean Ryan. Pleasure to see you. I really like the restream thing. That's pretty darn handy. Now I'm getting sound notices through the computer. Lovely. It's all gone to hell, everybody. Anyway, lots of things are going on. That's why we haven't been talking to one another. It seems like it's always a matter of, he's got something going on. I've got something going on. And like last week was a busy week here because my youngest daughter turned 5. My wife turned 29 again. So that was what was going on here, and like Trent's got his life. So just wanted to make sure we were saying something. I'm gonna, look, we're a tech podcast, right? So let's talk about Skype and the incredible pain in the ass that it has become. Like every single notice that I'm getting via the Skype system now, it's like, is it really important for me to get these notifications? And we actually, I think, as of the last show, we abandoned Skype for when I talked to Trent because it just got too unmanageable. I don't know why they, I don't want to say messed with it so bad. But, it just seems like when you get Microsoft involved, it goes to hell in a handbasket very fast. And that is, in my perspective, that's the way it's gone here as well. So now there we go. Everything is set up with the Skype. If you did want to reach out to us, NetHeads on air via Skype. If I notice that the phone call is even coming in, because I don't have it on the right screen, I should switch these things around. We could really get down and funky, and I could get things down to just 3 computers in here, or 2 technically, but nobody wants to hear about that. Anyway, not a big fan of Skype. I don't even remember how we talked to each other last time. It may have been via whatever comes in naturally through when you do some type of video connect. When you're here's how I access it, just to sound completely outdated and dumb. What's that? Say what ain't so, Chuck? Yeah, everything's going wrong. Excuse me, I forgot what I was talking about. That's what happens when you do these things on the fly and you got beep beep beeps going in your ear. But to show how outdated I am, I don't even think of it as whatever type of Google chat that it is. I just know if I go into the email client, you got chat on the left-hand side, and then you can do a call right there. Boom. Easy peasy. Ready to go. Right? Very simple. So anyway, today is Spider-Man Homecoming Day. Super excited about that. Going to be seeing it at 7:15 with my daughter Emily, the older one. Going to be seeing it in the whatever that Dolby experience is. I really got to find out what the name of it is. But they've got the reclining seats. It's the I call it their IMAX knockoff, but they've also got really luxury seats, and it's kind of their version. It's a knockoff of both IMAX and 4DX, because the chairs rumble from the sound as well, which is always fun, when your chair rumbles a little. I like it when my chair rumbles a little, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so we're going to be going to see that at 7:15. Pretty soon, everyone around here will be having dinner. Hey, my wife's home from the store, so we'll be doing that. And I'm really looking forward to it. But, there's one little fun thing that did happen recently. Kind of a connection. You remember, if you've seen Spider-Man Homecoming, Chris Evans had a presence in that movie too. A lot of people, I don't want to say they overlook it, but they kind of discount it because he was just in these interstitial videos. But apparently, good old Captain America Chris Evans had a little bit of a verbal flub recently at a con, and then corrected himself in the only way we would have expected him to.
That was fucking... I like the Hulk and Thor. Language. You gotta...
Yeah, language, Cap, language. You naughty boy, you. Oh, what are you doing using those grown-up words? Shame, 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 shame on you. So, Far From Home, later today. Is it going to be fun? Is it going to be exciting? I certainly hope so. Personally, I think that the bar is set really high. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about that at the end. The bar is obviously set very high for this one because it's the first one after Endgame. A lot of heavy lifting. They're setting the stage for what's going on in the MCU now. Because you got to imagine, you had an entire planet where half of all life went away. Now it's all back. How do you recover from that? It's like you went from excess to back where you were. And I would imagine that based on what we saw in Endgame, if you remember when Scott was walking the streets, that lots of things were piled up, lots of things were left behind, a lot of infrastructure. I can't even imagine what the government would have to do at that point, updating the records about the appropriate age of people, the adjusted age, what have you. Because technically speaking, like, Peter might be old enough to drink if you just take his birth date and apply that. And plus, how do you quantify the people that did and didn't? Oh, it's a mess. That's the reason why it's a fictional thing and I shouldn't be hung up on it. But, for me, Spider-Man goes deep in my roots. So that's why I'm really looking forward to this movie. Oh, Chuck is asking me to replay that. Oh, you want Cap again? Okay.
That was fucking... I like the Hulk and Thor. Language. You gotta...
There you go. Language, people. Language. Spider-Man goes deep to my core. Growing up, he was a character that was on the Electric Company. There was Spider-Man, the cartoon from the 60s. There was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And I'll never forget, I think it was early on, I had bought some Spider-Man comic books and started following the story. But then I drifted away a little bit because I was young and, it's not like I had a steady form of income. So how are you going to buy comic books? But then I remember hearing that his costume had changed, and I'm like, what is that all about? And I got caught up on some of the back issues, and then this was at the time where the first Secret Wars came out. And sure enough, Secret Wars number 8, I had to buy. I think I had a doctor's appointment that day because I had broken my wrist falling off my bike. And I made sure there was a 7-Eleven just down the street, and somehow I got to that 7-Eleven first, and I ended up picking up that issue, which I then read. So, obviously, Spider-Man is a character that I just love. And maybe it's because of the attraction that really anyone could be him underneath the mask. Anybody could be Spider-Man. You know, kind of the core message that we got out of Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. And I don't know. And maybe also because the Spider-Man that was represented growing up, you know, is the kind of the one we see in the MCU. As a teenager like me, or a kid like me, this kid taking on adult responsibilities, even though he's not an adult. And, you know, having these abilities and being responsible with them to a degree. I mean, it's all a very positive message, really, when you think about it. So I guess that's kind of why I really find him so endearing and why I'm really looking forward to this movie. I am going to have to start rebalancing things, though. The MCU movies, for me, have been an experience where opening night or opening day, I always go with my eldest daughter, Emily. But now we're starting to get to the point where the older one, or the younger one, Blair, is just like, why does Dad get to go? Or why does Emily get to go? Why don't I get to go? But, you know, part of the reason is we do, as adults, I think, we have to properly screen movies for our kids first, depending on their age. You know, I don't know if this one's PG, PG-13, or what have you. But I would definitely want to see it to know what's in it so I can prepare for if it's something my daughter could see. You know, Avengers Endgame, I saw it. I think Blair could see that movie. I just don't think she could sit through it. But if you've got a 5-year-old that could sit through it, I'm more than interested to hear your story there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the movie, and that's happening later tonight. And now I need to go help put away groceries. So this is just a quick little ditty, quick little something to throw out there. Just to say, hey, make sure you know we're still out here. We're still putting stuff together. As a matter of fact, I'm toying with something on Patreon now, the Patreon exclusive. For a long time, we've promised that we would do exclusive content that would never see the light of day anywhere else other than Patreon. So now I'm starting to tool around with the concept of just doing something similar to this, but with a little more detail, very short form type video product where it's kind of like a quick little daily ditty, just brought to you from my perspective. It's called Will's Words because I don't know what the hell else to call it. And you know, it's just me talking about the news that's going on, or the things that grab me. Probably nothing political going on in there whatsoever. Definitely would say that you would probably see things along the lines of tech news, entertainment news, etc. Like today I did talk about the Endgame re-release, obviously Far From Home, a little bit of technology with the Firecast TV or replay. And I actually, that's part of the reason why I want to do this, because that Chris Evans clip I forgot to do, because it's not like I did a proper rundown. I don't know what time it will go out every day, but it will be live, and it's for the MODOK level Patreon subscribers and above. So, you know, you can pay your buck to get in and just get the basic stuff, the commercial version of the podcast, etc. One extra buck more a month, and you can get these quick little ditties. It'll probably be something I'll do more after work in the evening, so that way I can just quickly put the elements together and then put it out. Believe me, I'm not competing with the Ralph Report whatsoever. It's just if you want to sit here and listen or watch me and kind of see how that evolves too. I don't know which direction it's going to go, but if you see it from the beginning, it's kind of like one of those things where we don't know how it will evolve or what it will become. It could be something not really NetHeads in nature at all, even though, you know, you really can't define what NetHeads is anyway. I certainly can't. So be sure to check that out. And you can go to patreon.com/ I think it's NetHeads or NetHeads on Air. But you can go to netheadsonair.com, the website, and that'll link you to everything, which is always the easiest place to go. netheadsonair.com. You can go to the Patreon link. You can see the stuff there. We also post all the videos there that we post on YouTube publicly. Those are all there from the get-go. So those are... You don't even need to be a subscriber. In many ways, I almost think the Patreon page should just kind of become the show page, but, you know, the show website. But in the meantime, I guess we'll still kind of keep running these two different little entities and see how they go. So if you want to check out the daily thing, let's see how consistent I am with it. Definitely probably won't be doing it on the 4th of July because it's a national holiday, for gosh sakes. But anyway, thanks for dropping in and checking this out. I just wanted to do a quick little update thing, something to let you know we're still here. And it's the reason why this one is, I think it's 299.1, is because this is the pre-screening podcast. After I see the movie, obviously it will be a much different story. There'll be much more to talk about. So that's the plan, folks. Do this one, do another one, and we're coming up on 300. What is big show number 300 going to be? Absolutely nothing special. I guarantee you it will probably just be Trent and I talking. It's not going to be interviewing with anyone else, even though I still want to talk to Steve Ashton. I got to put that one out there. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And there went my mouse. Sorry. Until next time, my name is Will, and we will be back soon. Oops, I just knocked the mouse out of the screen. There we go.